And welcome back to Beyond the Boards Hockey here on ConnectMeRadio.com. Pleased to be joined by John Tavares of the New York Islanders and formerly of the Oshawa Generals. John, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So your alma mater is in the Memorial Cup Finals. Is that, when you look back at something like that, do you look at it and go, man, I wish I had a chance to do that myself?
Yeah, it definitely makes me jealous. I think we had a couple of special teams, some good teams that, went deep into the playoffs, but, we never were able to reach the ultimate goal or do something like that. And, with the history of the organization and players that have played their teams they've had, they join a pretty elite company. So, big congratulations already, let alone playing for the Mem Cup this weekend to win an OHL championship and get to where they are. Credit to those players and the organization. They've done a fabulous job, and it's been fun as a guy that played there, played junior there, to look back and follow them. And I've watched quite a bit of their run here, and it's clearly a very special group and a very deep team.
You were at the OHL finals for a few games. What did you see about the team, and what made them so special in being able to shut down a guy like Connor McDavid?
I think a lot of credit goes to the coaching staff. Played against DJ when he was in Windsor, and just a tremendously well-prepared individual, very great understanding of the game, and I think the makeup of his players and his team. And when you have so many different individuals that are, handle things different ways and play different styles, and to bring that all together and have them buy in to the way they want to play and the structure they want to play in is a big credit to him and his coaching staff and what they've done as a group with the players. And everyone's bought in. You can see, everyone knows their role, and the execution that they play with at that level is tremendous. And they're just a deep team. All six defensemen, all four lines can make plays, can play any style of game, and that makes them very adaptable to whoever they play. And obviously, Appleby's been great in that. So they've kind of done a lot of great things, a lot of great pieces, and everyone's contributing, and that's what makes a difference in a long playoff run, and you can see that paying off.
Michael Dalcole's been one of the best players on the Generals for the past 2 seasons. How excited are you to see his development and know that, in the future, that's going to be a guy that could be riding shotgun with you on the top line?
Yeah, Mike's, I've been very impressed. I think you see his game in the playoffs. I think not just his play with the puck, but his play without the puck, I think, has been tremendous. Like I said, I think a lot of that goes to showing the guys buying into their team and doing everything it takes to win, and to the coaching staff helping them understand what's going to make him a better all-around successful pro NHL player. So certainly his skill is evident. It's elite, and you can see the strides he's made already from last training camp and first getting to see him and be on the ice with him. So I know the organization in New York's excited about Mike and are very high on him. So certainly he's going to be pushing for a spot here in the near future.
Now, you guys have a pretty heavy Oshawa flavor in New York. Michael Dalcole just adds to it. But do you guys get together yourself, Cal Clutterbuck, Calvin DeHaan, to watch these games? And is there any plans for you guys to maybe go out to Quebec City for the final on Sunday?
No, I don't think there's any plans to go out there. But I know we'll be watching. I've watched the first 3 games, and certainly a lot of guys that been over to the GMC to watch the guys during the playoff run over the last number of weeks. So I know we're all following and talking to each other about it. It's been great to see them get there because it's so hard to win it. You got 60 teams playing for it, and to come out of your league and then go play that tournament. You never know when you get another opportunity, so it's a special time for the city and for the organization.
Now, since you've seen these guys play for the last little bit, do you ever, there's always a thing about superstars having input on team building. Do you ever go to maybe Garth Snow and say, hey, look, I saw this kid play and, he's exceptional for Oshawa. Maybe, because he's draft eligible, we should take a shot at him?
Yeah, I think anytime you talk to management or whatnot, or obviously with Mike being there and the team, especially on player development side, very involved with Mike and his development in his game and the areas he's working on, and obviously this is an experience that's going to help them down the road, being able to win a championship and obviously go to a Memorial Cup and play in big games with a lot of attention. You know, they're going to see a lot of other players from Oshawa, and certainly, you know, I think they respect us as players in New York and in the NHL to, you know, you get a little bit different opinion, a little different feel from somebody else, and ultimately they make the decisions they make because that's what they're there to do. But certainly they're always open to what's out there, and certainly players that are up and coming.
Outside of, you know, Michael Dalcol, is there anybody that on that team that's really impressed you and you just look at them and go, hey, this is going to be a player in the National Hockey League someday?
Yeah, I think his line mate there, Masili, I think his last name is.
Yep.
Trying to remember off the top of my head. He's really impressed me with his all-around 200-foot game, being able to make plays and be effective in his own zone and playing a lot of minutes and playing a lot of different situations. Certainly the two Towers there have been tremendous too. Those guys, very mobile, very athletic for their size, their ability to skate and use their size very well, even at that age. Some guys can be that big and not really know how to use it, or are still very raw, but they seem to be very developed and understand what a factor that is for them, and they use it to their advantage.
Joined on the line by John Tavares, captain of the New York Islanders. John, you're also a Olympic gold medal winner. I know you didn't get to play in the final two games of that series, but what was it like to be in Sochi and be a Canadian Olympian and get that medal around your neck?
Yeah, it's still surreal, really. You know, unfortunately, I didn't get to play in, you know, really the two best games of the tournament, but you know, I know I got to play and was a part of the tournament early, and unfortunately was injured. But to be a part of something like that, obviously, I think we know what hockey means to the people in Canada. It's a way of life, but I think it was more than just being on the Canadian men's hockey team. It was being part of the overall Olympic team with all the athletes in many different sports, everybody coming together, cheering for one another, hanging out in the athletes' village, having that true Olympic experience, and then obviously to receive a gold medal. I don't think there's a higher honor in sport than an Olympic gold medal. Obviously, in hockey, the biggest is the Stanley Cup, and it's something I hope to achieve one day. But to be able to do that, which, you know, you never know how many opportunities you're going to get because it's you know, not a very frequent tournament. It was special and something I'll never forget.
One of the reasons I bring that up is earlier in the show we were talking about Mike Babcock, and you know, he was the coach of the team. You got to spend time with him at orientation camp, and obviously you're from Mississauga, so you know, growing up, probably maybe a Leaf fan, I'm guessing. But do you see Babcock coming in and turning around that team?
Well, I think Babs has obviously proven you know, what kind of coach he is, and being an elite level coach. You know, I think for him, he's coached at every level and had success at every level, and has always found a way to get the most out of his players, most out of his group. He demands, you know, high work ethic. He has a great respect, I think, for his players, and the players have a lot of respect for him. So, you know, he's obviously proven what he's done with many different teams at many different levels, and there's no question he's obviously going to make some changes there. And I know being around him for, you know, 3 weeks, he had a big impact on me. So, you know, I'm sure for a lot of their young players, he'll be the same.
John, you talk about competing for that Stanley Cup. The Islanders this year, you know, rebound from a tough year last year where you got hurt. But do you see this team, you know, just getting stronger and stronger? I know you guys have a few prospects. We talk about Dalcol. Hosang's on his way. You got a chance to play with him at training camp. How exciting is that to know that, you know, even though your team was good, they're just going to get better with the infusion of even more youth in the lineup?
Yeah, we have, you know, many years of drafting and developing, and a lot of it was very hard to go through, but you see, you know, how things are paying off now. You look at the roster, and really it's going to be almost the exact same team that we've had this year, and that's going to make it hard for a lot of our top prospects to make the team, but I think that shows the strength in the organization when you're able to let them develop, challenge them to find another level, to force the organization to make tough decisions to make the team, that just shows the depth that we have had. So made some great acquisitions with a lot of veteran guys last summer that really solidified our team. And now we have so many young guys in our pipeline that were in Bridgeport this year, our minor league affiliate, and obviously with Mike and many other guys playing in junior hockey still. So it shows the strength, and that's only going to benefit for years to come. So, yeah, I really do believe we have something building, and it's up to us players to take advantage of this opportunity. You never know how many chances you get. And I think we realize we got a pretty talented special team. We're still very young. So, obviously this year was disappointing. We had something really special, and unfortunately we weren't able to get it done in the first round. So it's something to learn from and build on.
You talked about the veterans, you traded for them at the start of the year and then they signed. There was a time, John, just, a couple years ago where you'd claim a guy from waivers or make a trade for them and they didn't want to stay, and then all of a sudden they're starting to sign. Vishnevsky's one of them, Nabokov's the other. How fulfilling is that to you as a player to know that now people want to come there and stay there and play with you? And how uplifting is that for you as a person to say, hey, these guys want to come here and play with me and be in this organization and now we finally built something special here?
Yeah, obviously, I think we have a lot to prove still. I mean, we've been to the playoffs twice, and both times, we played well, but we weren't able to find a way to win. So, there's still a lot for us to prove. But in saying that, I think you make a great point. You see, there's been a lot of change over the last couple of years. I think just with the attitude and the expectation amongst our group, amongst the organization and the players, and certainly when you acquire, especially guys like Yaroslav Halak, who's played in many different organizations and brings some great stability in that. Johnny Boychuk and Nick Leddy that really have been game changers for us on the back end. They're both Stanley Cup winners, played for some tremendous organizations, and to come here and want to stay here long term, that commitment speaks volumes. So that shows, I think, where we're headed. And like I said, it's an opportunity for us to take advantage of. And certainly, guys enjoy playing on Long Island. It's a beautiful place. The city's right there as well. There's a lot to do. There's a lot going on, and we have a tremendous fan base. So, it's, when I got there, I could see why people loved it. When you come there for a 2-day stint, come to the Coliseum, which was obviously older rink, and just staying across the street at the hotel, there wasn't much to see. And obviously, when you don't have success, it hurts you at times, but now it's starting to pay off, and we want to take advantage of it.
And now you guys get a shiny new arena in Brooklyn. How odd is that going to be playing out there? I know you guys had an exhibition game there against New Jersey last year. Is it, people talk about it not being a hockey arena, but do you think that you guys can change that?
Well, I know our fans are definitely some of the most passionate, not just in hockey, but I think in sport. This year at the Coliseum was something really special. The way they came out and supported us was tremendous. The playoffs was absolutely insane. So, the people love the team. It's a big change for, I think, the fans and for us. The team grew up in Nassau County and at the Coliseum, been there for 40 years. So it's a big change for everybody. But as players, I know we're looking forward to the new facilities, new amenities that many teams have now. As things off the ice have become so important and such, much more advanced in the game. So it'd be nice for us to take advantage of those. And we just want to try to make it a tough place to play, and we want to give our fans something to cheer about and to keep building off of something like we had last year. So we want to break it in the right way, and we're looking forward to it. It's time to, obviously move on from a tough finish of the season and obviously an emotional year, last year at the Coliseum to something new and wanting to start off on the right foot.
When you guys score a goal at the Coliseum, it gets really loud with some yes chants. Do you know where that comes from?
I know it was some wrestler and the fans kind of just started that, and that's what I talked about, that it was a really special year with the fans and kind of that, when something just kind of happens, it's pretty special, and they really, fed off of us and really fed off of them. So honestly, especially in the playoffs, every time a goal was scored, I made players from around the league tell me just they couldn't believe how amazing that was, how crazy they get, and just really just how unique something that is. So something that was, as us players, we absolutely loved it. It was something we jumped on the bandwagon and would love to continue.
John, one last question before we let you go. One of my favorite people in the entire Oshawa Generals organization, Gary Minix. What is your favorite Gary Minix story?
Oh, Gary, it's just too many. Really, I think he's just a tremendous person. Just always treated us as players as like family, and just loves to really get us going in the right way, especially being kids. Always honest about social life and how things are going for us, maybe outside of hockey. So, but he's been a tremendous guy. Do
you realize how passionate the fans in Oshawa are about John Tavares? For example, I once tweeted, you scored a big goal, and I once tweeted, London Knights legend John Tavares scores a goal, and I got all sorts of scorn for that. They really do not like the fact that you were drafted in the NHL out of the London Knights, and that they take it personally, and they feel like you're one of their own. How does that feel as a player to just be beloved, even though you've been gone out of that organization for now 6 years, and still to have that level of rabid fans that still remember John Tavares and just love you? Yeah, it's something special. It really changed my life when I went to Oshawa. Things changed for me, and it was only for the best, and I learned a lot there. I learned a lot about myself. There's many things you look back on that maybe you wish you handled differently, but at the same time, it was part of being a kid, part of learning about, who I was, where I was going, and the opportunity I had, and I met some great people there, and will never forget my memories there and the success we had as a team, individually, and the support the fans gave me. It was a lot of fun. It was great playing in the old rink, being part of that new rink, watching those guys get their numbers retired, and then having mine this year. It's truly is home. It's home for me, and I recognize that. So, yeah, I can't be more grateful to have that kind of support and appreciation. Unfortunately, I was never able to win a championship there, but we had some great teams and we had some good seasons, and it prepared me for the NHL, and I can't thank them enough for that. Well, I'll tell you what, John, it definitely wasn't your fault. You guys tried your hardest when you guys were there, but I'd like to thank you so much for joining us here today on Beyond the Boards Hockey, and best of luck in the upcoming season with the Islanders, and hopefully the Generals can pull off a victory here on Sunday. Yep, sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys. So go Gens go. It'll be a great great final to watch. Would like to thank John Tavares of the New York Islanders for joining us on today's show, and when we come back after this commercial break, we'll take a look at the Eastern Conference Finals.